Hello, I'm Esther Githoyuot. It's Friday, May 13th. This is Africa 54.
Somalia's parliament prepares for its long-awaited presidential election to end a year of political instability. Ethiopia's drought leads to an increase in parents marrying off their children. We'll have a report. And in our entertainment report, Music Time in Africa host Heather Maxwell finds the groove with Moroccan musician Hind Ennaira.
The Somali parliament prepares to elect a new president on Sunday. Analysts say the country's political uncertainty is nearing an end now that the long-awaited electoral process is underway. Somalia has registered a record 39 candidates, according to a parliamentary committee tasked with organizing the long-delayed polls. The election is more than 1 year behind schedule, and the run-up has been marred by violence and a power struggle between President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed, better known as Farmajo, and Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Roble.
This electoral process that has been so protracted offers a reset button. Most electoral processes in Somalia offer, optimism, hope that there'll be change. And I really believe this one, specifically because it's been so protracted, offers a reset button. There's a lot of hope and optimism that there'll be change right after. The country is very polarized at the moment, and you're expecting that whoever comes in will work towards reuniting the country. The new leadership has to sit with AMISOM and really renegotiate this document. I believe the document was negotiated at a time where the Somali leadership was not really focused on security imperatives and might be too aspirational. So I believe that's another priority. But that aside, the Somali security forces really need to refocus, whether with ATMIS or not, back onto the security sector rather than on the political issues that they've been focused on so far.
For more on Sunday's parliamentary vote for president, standing by live via Skype in Mogadishu is VOA reporter Palestine Ahmed Iman. Hello, Palestine.
Hi.
Unlike other countries, the Somali public does not cast ballots. Explain to us how the system works.
Yeah. 275 members of the lower house and 54 members of the upper house, we call a Senate, will vote Sunday for the president. 54% the region, while lower
I'm having a bit of trouble with the audio, Palestine. I hope you can hear me, and hopefully the audio gets better. Let me move on to all right, Palestine will try to establish that contact again soon. Now, religious leaders in Nigeria are demanding justice over the murder of a Christian student who was stoned to death over accusations of blasphemy against the Prophet Muhammad. An angry mob of students stoned Deborah Samuel and burned her body on Thursday in the northwest city of Sokoto after she made a post on social media that was deemed offensive towards the Prophet. Police arrested 2 suspects in connection with the killing, while a manhunt was ordered for others who appeared in a video of the incident that circulated on social media. Ethiopia's record drought is leading to a dramatic increase in desperate parents marrying off their children, according to the United Nations Children's Fund. So far, reported child marriages have more than doubled in 2022. 8 groups are trying to get much-needed water and other help to the drought-hit families to try to curb the trend and protect the girls. Linda Giftash reports from Gode, Ethiopia.
Unable to feed themselves or their families, people in Ethiopia's Somali region are fleeing to displacement camps in search of aid. They're also using any means to better themselves economically. Nasteho Bahar Abdi married at 14, but she had to remarry this year because her first husband failed to support her and 2 daughters.
What can I do? I have no skills to work. I did not learn. My children are suffering.
girls getting married before they are 18 is common culturally throughout the country. The United Nations Children's Fund says 40% of Ethiopian women were married under 18. Faced with economic pressures from the drought, experts say marrying daughters can be a form of relief to families by having one less mouth to feed and gaining a bride price.
Where the drought had hit and was sort of notified as the hotspot Waridas, we saw like 63% increase. And of course, these are sort of anecdotal, what we picked up from the different Waridas and talking to the communities. But the fact that that number itself gives a pretty scary situation about children.
Waridas are districts within a state. UNICEF says surveys suggest child marriages have doubled in the region, but cases could be even higher. Families don't openly discuss the issue, and marriages aren't formally registered because legally, the minimum age for marriage in Ethiopia is 18. Advocates say raising awareness about the risks to girls may help discourage the practice.
We are seeing where young mothers, where the malnutrition levels are very high, and the children that they are giving birth to are also sort of suffering from acute malnutrition.
Keeping children in the classroom may also help protect girls from early marriage and pregnancy.
Education is the key to combat, the early child marriage. It keeps them busy at schools. We tell parents that investing in child is something that that can help them to have a good returns than having these short times economic benefits from marriage transactions.
Abdi learned to raise livestock rather than going to school. Those skills have limited her and others like her amid the drought. But she says she wants a different future for her daughters.
I am planning for my children to teach them, take them to school when they reach school age. If Allah gives me wealth, I will teach them.
Abdi says she also encourages other girls in the community to go to school rather than wed. It's the message child rights activist hope catches on. Linda Giftash for VOA News, Godea, Ethiopia.
Family members in Burkina Faso are anxiously awaiting news of 8 miners who have been missing for nearly a month after they were trapped underground during a flood. David Doyle has this update.
Sylvie Bama hasn't seen her husband Charles in nearly a month. He's one of 8 miners missing in Burkina Faso, having got trapped more than 1,600 feet underground.
I'm looking at photos of my husband. I miss him a lot. Today it has been 26 days since he left home. Really, I miss him a lot. I want him to come back.
There's been no communication with the miners since mid-April, when they were trapped during a flood at Canada-based Trevali Mining Corp's Pacoa zinc mine. According to the company, it's possible the miners reached a rescue chamber, stocked with food and water. After pumping water out of the mine for weeks, a spokesperson said rescue teams were nearing that location on Thursday. Burkina Faso's Labour Minister said water samples had to be studied for safety reasons before the rescuers could dive underwater to reach the chamber.
We have hope. We know they will come back. We're really counting on God for them to come back. For my husband to come back. We pray.
Bama sells used clothes and relies on her husband's income to support their 4 children. She and other distraught family members of the missing men have been meeting each day near the mine in the central Songhai province. It's a way to offer each other support as they wait for any news of their loved ones.
David Doe of Reuters filed that report. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is urging international organizations backing vaccination against coronavirus to start buying jabs from African farmers as one such manufacturer risks halting production for lack of orders. Africa's most industrialized country is spearheading a campaign to have shots produced on the under-vaccinated and the continent, becoming its first and largest COVID vaccine manufacturer. South Africa's pharma giant Aspen last week made the shocking announcement that it has not received any orders for its new Made in Africa for Africa COVID vaccine licensed by US-based Johnson & Johnson. Aspen is threatening to close the production line unless it receives orders. South Africa's National Institute for Communicable Diseases is reporting over 10,000 new COVID-19 cases, the most in the country since January. Africa 54 managing editor Vincent Makori has more.
The number of new cases of COVID-19 in South Africa has crossed 10,000 for the first time since January. The National Institute for Communicable Diseases reported 10,017 new cases. Health authorities have warned the country may be entering a fifth wave of infections. Experts had previously warned a fifth wave could start during the Southern Hemisphere winter months, sometime in May or June. South Africa has recorded the most coronavirus cases and deaths on the African continent. Just under 50% of the adult population have received at least one dose of a COVID vaccine, with 45% of adults being fully vaccinated. The pace of the vaccine rollout has slowed in recent months, with officials warning that shots risk being discarded. Vincent Makori, VOA News.
A Johannesburg court on Friday granted bail to 7 South African men accused of killing a Zimbabwean national. Elvis Nyathi was stoned and burned to death in Displut Township last month when a vigilante group went door to door looking for undocumented foreign nationals and criminals. The men had spent 3 weeks in jail. As the United States marks 1 million deaths from COVID-19, the White House is calling on Congress to provide $5 billion in funding for global COVID health initiatives. As VOA's congressional correspondent Catherine Gibson reports, the waning pandemic may be diminishing the urgency felt by lawmakers to pass that funding.
From empty streets in lockdown Shanghai to bells tolling out 1 million deaths in the United States, the coronavirus pandemic is far from over.
I continue to call on Congress here at home to take the urgent action to provide emergency COVID-19 funding that is vital to protect Americans.
The White House asked for the supplemental funding from Congress in early March, including a request for $5 billion for global initiatives during the second annual Global COVID-19 Summit.
The United States will share critical COVID-19 technologies through the World Health Organization COVID-19 Technology Access Pool. We're making available health technologies that are owned by the United States government, including stabilized spike protein that is used in many COVID-19 vaccines. We're standing up a new pilot program, working with the Global Fund to expand access to rapid testing and antiviral treatments for people in harder-to-reach areas.
Biden initially asked Congress to include his COVID funding request with his $33 billion request for Ukraine aid, but had to agree to separate the two to get aid to Ukraine passed quickly. The top Republican on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee told VOA it's a matter of competing priorities under a limited time frame.
As with everything, dollars and cents always come into play. The decoupling was done because we wanted to move the Ukrainian issue much more quickly. I wouldn't say that that in any way should be looked at as demeaning the COVID question.
The U.S. has already provided more than $14 billion in funding for global COVID initiatives since the pandemic began in December 2019. There are concerns the U.S. has already spent too much. Senate Foreign Relations Committee member Tim Kaine telling VOA he worries the bill will not include enough funding for vaccine diplomacy.
It was really helping us after years of China being more aggressive in the Americas than us, the fact that they were selling lower quality vaccines and then often canceling a contract if somebody said something nice about Taiwan, and we were giving the highest quality vaccines with no strings attached. We were starting not only to help people, but really win back a little bit of a diplomacy deficit that we had allowed to grow over the years.
U.S. lawmakers are set to begin work on that COVID bill in the coming week. Catherine Gibson, VOA News, Washington.
Would like to hear what you think about Africa 54. Africa 54's new Facebook page is facebook.com/VOA Africa. Still to come, Music Time in Africa host Heather Maxwell gets into the groove with Moroccan musician Hind Ennaira. We'll be right back.
Health, wellness, sport, beauty, medical breakthroughs. Healthy Living cares about your well-being. What are the main health concerns in Africa and around the world? Find out the latest on coronavirus. Connect with our experts and ask them questions.
How long does the virus stay?
Join me, Linoch Mudu, in Washington every week on Healthy Living, right here on VOA.
Mining Idaba, the most important gathering for the international mining world, has ended this week in Cape Town. Among the participants was the Congolese contractor of one of the world's largest gold mines, the Kibali mine, located in Haut-Ole in Northeast Democratic Republic of Congo. VOA's Anastasie Tudiesh has more.
Congolese Prime Minister Jean-Michel Samalukonde had to pay IOB stand a visit. IOB was one of the Congolese exhibitors at Mining Indaba, the world's largest mining event. It has been quite a journey for IOB CEO Feni Matsando.
At age 10, 11, I was already doing business. I grew up poor, so I could go back and forth to sell whatever I could put my hands on. I used to pedal on the Aru-Watsa road. It would take me up to 8 days to get here and sell 2 or 3 boxes of soap.
Feni Matsando was also once a gold digger. Today, he is a successful businessman. IOB, Inter-Oriental Builders, the civil engineering company he created in 2012, has built a hydroelectric plant at a cost of $50 million. This was for Kibali Gold Mines in 2008, a first for a Congolese company.
We completed the dam on time and at a lower cost, with a quality that was considered the best compared to the other dams.
Today, IOB has become one of Kibali Gold Mines' main regional subcontractors. The company also offers civil engineering services to projects ranging from bridges, roads, to housing. It is sweet victory for Feni Matsando. But no victory comes without sacrifices.
The third most important moment in life is that we have experienced is the investment period. If you are not strong enough, you just need to stop and find another activity. It's not easy to get investments like other countries might get.
It has not been easy, but he now has a robust relationship with critical clients.
The relationship we've developed with IOB, it's a marriage made on the basis of universal community of property, a win-win relationship. Today, IOB employs more than 600 workers. I want to stress Congolese workers. We at Equity are trying to promote Congolese entrepreneurship, and IOB is the prototype of the clientele we want to accompany.
In Durba, some say Feni Matsando is a millionaire or even a billionaire. He avoids answering the question about his wealth and instead prefers to talk about the community projects that IOB finances, such as drilling, constructing roads, and soon setting up a soap factory and a modern hospital. Speaking to him, you get the sense that to Matsando, the real gold of the Congo is the Congolese people. Anastasie Tudiesh for VOA, Durba.
Minru say that Anglo-American is taking majority control of its Zambia copper cobalt exploration licenses, marking the first new investment by Anglo in Zambia in 20 years. Louisa Nax reports.
ARC Minerals said on Thursday that Anglo-American will take majority control of its Zambia copper cobalt exploration licenses. It marks the first new investment by Anglo in Zambia for 20 years. Under the deal, Anglo will take 70% of a joint venture with ARC that will own licenses to explore Zambia's copper-rich northwestern province. It is an area Anglo previously explored in the late 1990s. Anglo American will pay $3.5 million into the joint venture upon signing. It will be able to retain its stake by spending $74 million on exploration within 7 years of signing and making cash payments of $11 million into the JV, according to the terms of the deal. Major mining firms are searching for new sources for battery metal, copper and cobalt, especially in the wake of the war in Ukraine and Russian sanctions, which have sent metal prices soaring. Zambia is Africa's second largest copper producer. It aims to more than triple its annual copper output within the next decade to 3 million tons a year.
That was Louisa Nax of Reuters reporting. Elon Musk's big deal to buy Twitter is now in a holding pattern. Musk on Friday said his $44 billion deal for Twitter is on hold pending details on spam and fake accounts. Shares of the social media giant fell 20% in pre-market trading. Twitter has estimated that false or spam accounts represented fewer than 5% of its monetizable daily active users during the first quarter. Twitter says it faces several risks until the deal with Musk is closed, including whether advertisers will continue to spend on Twitter. Musk has said that one of his priorities will be to remove spam bots from the platform. Here's a sneak peek into a special VOA documentary about residents in Abidjan, Ivory Coast.
C'est le quatrième pont qui passe ici. C'est à cause du quatrième pont, ils ont détruit tout ça ici.
À 4 h du matin, la police nationale se retrouve avec la gendarmerie et on leur dit de sortir, ils vont déguerpir chez elle.
La maison elle est belle, mais il y a plein de travaux qui ne sont pas encore terminés, comme la douche, le sol.
Ça peut poser d'énormes problèmes en termes de sécurité, en termes de cohésion sociale, d'avenir politique du pays.
Be sure to watch the full documentary at voanews.com/documentaries. Now, Heather Maxwell, host and producer of Music Time in Africa, joins us now to share the latest in entertainment news. What do you have for us, Heather, this week?
Hey, Esther. Hello, everybody. I first want to share an interview that I did in Algiers with a female gimbri player. Now, gimbri is a core instrument of Gnawa music, and Gnawa refers first to black people who were enslaved in West Africa, and it also refers to the music itself, and then it's also a religious order. It's a spiritual order, notably of a mystic nature. So that is Gnawa. Now, I met, when I was in Algeria recently, a female Gnawa player, and that's what's amazing about this story. She's a woman, and she's playing the gimbri. Let's watch.
It's so nice to meet you here.
Nice to meet you too.
What's your full name and where are you from?
My name is Hind Ennaira from Morocco.
Okay, and what is your primary instrument?
My instrument is named Gimbri.
Gimbri, this here?
Yes.
Would you like to play something?
Play Yubati.
Okay. What inspired you then to play it?
I come from a city that's called Essaouira. It's a city where already there's the festival Essaouira. It's a festival that's nothing but Ngnawa. It's known for that. So that's what inspired me. For me, it's a challenge to play an instrument that normally only men play. At first, my parents didn't like me playing it because it's a consecrated instrument played by men, generally speaking. But I really wanted to play it, so I took it on as a personal challenge, and it worked. And now I'm actually well known, and people speak of me. I won my challenge.
Find that being a woman and being a professional musician will make that more difficult?
My parents were afraid for me because since I've been the only female in the group, a group that's all men, they thought it wouldn't go well for me.
What one new gesture or sound have you learned since One Beat?
The volume.
Oh, so the volume. Okay, that's cool.
Demonstrate that, but that's a very unique instrument, Heather. Can you play that?
The gimbri?
Yes.
No, I can't play the gimbri.
She didn't teach you a little bit about how to...
No, I was too busy interviewing.
Okay. Now, so what else do you have for us?
Okay, so the Eurovision Song Contest is back again. It's been going on all week, and it's in Turin, Italy. The finals are Saturday, so try and check that out if you can. Otherwise, I will bring the results right back here to you next week. So if you miss it, that's fine. You can watch more music, too, on Music Time in Africa YouTube, Instagram, and listen to my Music Time in Africa radio show every weekend.
Heather, that's very amazing. Thank you so much. Great sounds there, Heather. That's it for the entertainment. Be sure to join Heather Maxwell each Friday for her Africa 54 Entertainment Report. And that's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our new Facebook page, facebook.com/VOA Africa. From all of us here in Washington, have a great weekend.